It's me, your machining buddy, Chips O'Toole, and I'm back to finish working on this guy right here, this wheel, which is going to be used on my Moxon wood vise. I have to put a counterbore in this thing. What I'm going to do eventually is I'm going to have to use this tap on this right here. I'm going to have a hole going through here. I think it's 0.573 inches, something like that. There's you know, a range of sizes you get. Anyway, you have to have a certain size hole in there, and you don't want to just have, this thing's like 1 1/4 inches wide long, this boss here. You don't want to tap the whole thing, so I take it down a little bit. I'm going to put a counterbore on this side like 0.4 inches deep, and I'm going to put a counterbore on the other side like 0.1 inches deep, and that'll give me a shorter distance in there. So right now I'm going to go down roughly 0.4 inches this way, and I'm going to try to make a counterbore about 0.8 inches wide. And it doesn't have to be precise, thank God, because I'm lazy. Instead of checking it properly, where is it? Well, I'm going to use my inexpensive Grizzly calipers, which I will now have to go find. Ah, how nice, I've located them. Here they are. One neat thing about these are left-handed calipers, and one of the great things about buying Chinese stuff is that you can afford to get right-hand and left-hand versions. So if you want to read something, you know, like this on a lathe with these doodads on the back, which I don't know the official name for them, you don't have to, you know, turn around sideways and drive yourself crazy. You just hold it this way and look very naturally at the dial, so that makes me quite happy. Okay, I'm going to fire this thing up and see what happens. I really have to apologize, I almost started without you. Not the greatest boring bar on earth, but it's a very small bore at the moment, so you can't get a big one, a big rigid one in there. Let me see where I am X-wise. About 0.565. So 0.235 to go, is that right? That is right, unless the rules of math have changed. I'm going to turn this thing off for a minute. I'll be right back. I stopped because when you're on camera you make stupid mistakes, and I was thinking, what if I'm wrong about basic subtraction? And then I'll make a stupid mistake and I'll have to order another one of these things from MSC. But I was correct, and I feel better about myself now. So, here I go. stand these guys who can talk while they're machining. I can do one thing at once and I can barely do that. I'm backing it out manually. I'm trying not to get a big spiral looking nasty mess in there. Look at all that nice abrasive cast iron dust coming out of there. Excellent. Let's see what Mr. Grizzly says. I should be very close. I may be slightly over, which is fine. I may be, it's looking like 805, something like that. Perfect, good enough. 5 thousandths over, hooray for me. And the finish in there is way better than I thought it would be. So I guess now, I didn't go in quite all the way. I went down to 0.390. So I'll just go in now to 0.40 and, you know, try to get this done. I don't know if you're supposed to do this with a boring bar, and since I don't know that, that means I'm allowed to do it. Looks great, looks dandy, looks excellent. The last thing I want to do is I'm just going to kind of smooth off the outside of this thing. I would call it a facing cut, but I think I would be giving it too much dignity. I'm basically just going to rub the crud off of it, so that I have something nice and smooth that butts up against the wood. I mean, I'm practically doing nothing. Now let's see, I'll just do it this way. No, I won't. It won't let me. Alright, well, I'll do it this way then. Will it turn? Nothing's hitting anything. Hooray for me. See if I can move that one more thousand. No, I'm not even sure I'm making contact, except barely touching it. A little more. That's good enough for me. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's how I want it. This is rough. What do I got to smooth that off with? Is it okay to use sandpaper? I don't know. Good enough. Pretty much what I want. Well, there's no point in lying. It's exactly what I want. It wasn't that hard. Now, do I have a chuck? Key. Yeah. My lovely soft jaws. Look at them. Wow, this came out good. It almost looks like I knew what I was doing. I don't know, there must be some mistake. Wow, sweet. Okay, well, I just put it back in exactly the same way that I took it out, so that was genius. I was trying to do the other side. There we go. Does it run true? Let's see. Not with the motor disconnected. Now let's see if it runs true in gear. It runs pretty true. I'm really starting to hate this thing, this camera. It's still on though, I think it's still on. The app on the phone goes off. Why? Because it hates me. No conceivable idea why. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah. More boring. Boring, yeah, here it is. Get in there. I have a bunch of different Chinese quick change tool holders, and they all fit slightly differently. And some don't like to go on, some like to, you know. But hey, it was better than paying $9,000 a piece for a Loris. This doesn't have to be exact, so I'm barely going to touch that. And that's going to be my X0. No, it's not. Why did I do that? Oh, that was dumb. That was my Y0. No, it doesn't matter. Maybe this time we'll get closer on the diameter. Okay, so I want to go in 0.1 inches. I don't know if it's even worth it to use the power feed for that. Let's try it without it. Works fine. The power feed is pointless. Ah, come on. I'm really doing a you know, halfway job on this. I mean, sometimes I like to do things better than I have to. And I think that's always a good idea because then you end up being a better machinist. But I'd really like to get this thing over with. So this is 5.87. So I'm going to go 2/10 on the diameter. And that way I won't go over this time, I hope. Make sure I don't mix up X and Y again. These things that when I talk about X and Y, I've got a DRO. You can't see it on camera because I'm not that smart. I don't know how to do it. So, I want to look at that other wheel. Yeah, that's about right. So, here we go. That ought to work. I'm going to 0.09. I'm not going all the way down. Another 75 thousandths. This stuff cuts like Chips Ahoy cookies. Okay, if this is right, I should be at about, well, I should be within, let me see. I should be within 50 thousandths. Hey, that's where I am. Hooray for me. So, I'm going to give it another like 52 to 53 thousandths because that's more or less where I am, where I should be. Hallelujah, off we go. Good for me. And that is as accurate as I can get with these calipers. That is where I want to be. That's 0.8 inches. Now what? I didn't think I was going to get this far and do this well. I'm going to turn this thing off for a minute and find out what my hole size should be because I forgot. Oh, I guess I should neaten this up first. Whoops. Give me that. Get off of there. Let go. Freaking tight tool holder. Alright. Alright, get up there. Let's do it. Move it. And we know that it turns, but I don't trust it, so to me this is like, you know, totally precise, dangerous work. Anybody else, it's a complete joke. But, you know, I'm within 3/8 of an inch of these jaws, and with my primitive skills, I find that scary. Good enough. Where's that sandpaper? Oh. Hooray, it won't cut anyone. What do I got to do now? I got to open this hole up, got to check the diameter. So I'll be back. I'm turning this off.